Good evening. I call this public meeting of the North Clackamas School District Board of Directors to order on Thursday, May 11th at 6:01 p.m. I would like to remind our community that the purpose of our board meetings is to conduct the business of the district first and for everyone to learn about the district in a safe and productive manner. Our policies require online meetings. No one signed up for community comments tonight. We did receive a few letters. There was a student letter requesting us to implement composting programs in all of our schools. A parent request for her student to have freedom to access all reading and program materials. A community member with information about a grant to promote safe driving. And then other letters that school staff are attending to. We'll start off then with our native land acknowledgement. Vice Chair Benaloga will lead the acknowledgement this evening.
We acknowledge the land on which we sit and which we call the North Clackamas School District rests on the traditional and indigenous lands and village sites of the native peoples of the Kalapuya, Chinook, Molalla, and the Clackamas. We take this opportunity to offer gratitude for the ability to learn, work, and be a community on this land, and we offer thanks to the original caretakers of this region. We recognize the historic policies of colonization, genocide, relocation, and assimilation that affected Indigenous and Native families, both past and present, and that will affect those in the future, and honor the resilience and revitalization of our Indigenous and Native communities. We pay our respects to the elders, both past and present, who have been stewards of this land throughout the generations.
Thank you, Vice Chair Benaloga. Board members, please turn off your cameras. Director McVeigh will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. On the agenda next are the minutes. You'll find them in the board packet for April 13th, 2023 meeting of the North Clackamas School Board District Board of Directors. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve April 13 meeting minutes.
Okay, Director McVeigh has made a motion. Is there a second?
Director Benaloga, second.
Thank you, Director Benaloga. Any discussion? I'll call for a vote, a roll vote. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Perez,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Vice Chair Benaloga,
Aye.
and myself is aye. So the motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda. You will find the consent agenda for this evening's meeting. The items on the consent agenda are employment changes, policy revisions, 2023-24 board meeting calendar, Educational Equity Advisory Committee, Senate Bill 732 charter approval, and there's 4 travel requests. The first one, Clackamas High School speech and debate, Sabin-Schellenberg Professional Technical Center, Skills USA, Clackamas High School football, and Rex Putnam High School. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? And please read all the items included.
I move board approval of the consent agenda, including employment changes, policy revisions, 22-23-2024 board meeting calendar, Educational Equity Advisory Committee, Senate Bill 732 charter approval, travel request, Clackamas High School speech and debate, travel request, Sabin-Schellenberg Professional Technical Center, Skills USA, travel request, Clackamas High School football, travel request, Rex Putnam High School football.
Thank you, Director Benaloga. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Director McVeigh. I'll call for a vote on the motion, or any discussion first. I'm sorry. Seeing none, been properly moved by Director Benaloga and second by Director McVeigh. I call for a vote on the motion. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Perez,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Director Vice Chair Benaloga,
Aye.
and myself is aye. The motion passes with a vote of 6-0. Next on the agenda is the LGBTQ plus Pride Month proclamation. Vice Chair Benaloga will begin reading the proclamation.
Whereas North Clackamas Schools shares in the belief that diversity is our greatest strength, and our lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus, LGBTQ plus students and staff have the same rights guaranteed to their peers, and
Whereas each year, the month of June honors the 1969 Stonewall riots in Manhattan, and the National Education Association has included LGBTQ plus Pride Month in its commemorative month since 1995. And
Whereas we believe, like Jason Collins, the first openly gay major American sports athlete, who said, "Openness may not completely disarm prejudice, but it's a good place to start." And
Chair Bauer, I do not have a computer that's working. Could you read
Oh. Yeah, I can read yours. Whereas LGBTQ plus youth are almost 5 times as likely to have attempted suicide compared to straight cisgen youth, and each episode of LGBTQ plus victimization, such as physical or verbal harassment or abuse, increases the likelihood of self-harming behavior by 2.5 times an average. And whereas a national study found that 40% of transgender adults reported having made a suicide attempt, with 92% of these individuals reported having attempted suicide before the age of 25. And
whereas having a gender sexuality alliance reduces a child's risk of attempting suicide by 50%, and a student at school with gender sexuality alliances experiences less bullying around gender nonconformity. And
whereas federal law guarantees students the right to form gender sexuality alliance clubs where other non-curricular clubs exist, and our community is better because of the diversity of our population. And
whereas inclusion is a core value of our district, and the board and the school board is committed to helping end the crisis of suicide in our community by creating a safe and welcoming school district for all students.
is there a motion to approve the proclamation?
Director Schradel, move approval of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus, LGBTQ plus Pride Month in North Clackamas School District.
second.
Any discussion? I'll call for a vote. Director McVeigh,
Chair Bauer, I would like to just say thank you for reading my paragraph. My computer was upgrading the software needed to read it, and I do apologize for not being prepared properly. I definitely support this proclamation. Thank you, Chair.
thank you. Director McVeigh,
aye.
Director Perez,
Aye.
Director Schradel,
Aye.
Vice Chair Benaloga,
aye.
and myself is aye. The motion passes with a vote of 6-0. Vice Chair Benaloga, you want to finish it off here?
Now therefore, the North Clackamas School District Board of Directors proclaims June 2023 to be LGBTQ plus Pride Month and urges our community to join us in celebrating the diverse gender identity and sexual orientation that exists among our students, staff, and community.
Adopted this 11th day of May 2023. Thank you, board. That means a lot to a lot of our students and staff. So thank you so much. Agenda item 2, North Clackamas Education Association, NCEA featured educators. And I would like to welcome NCEA President Melinda Ryan. Welcome, Melinda.
Good evening, directors and everyone else on the screen. It's nice to see you all this evening. This evening, we are honoring the work of the special education TOSAs here in North Clackamas School District and all they have done over the past years for our district. These 4 women, Louise Dawson, Shelley Waller, Sarah McCarchick, and Danielle Heinlein, are teachers who have taken on a leadership role within the district. The special education teachers on special assignment have provided support for some of our students with the highest needs and most complex situations. They've covered classes for absent teachers, shared their expertise with other staff through mentoring, and assisted with the paperwork that goes along with individualized education plans. In addition, they often help new teachers with things like learning how to schedule groups, instructional planning, and strategies around leading small groups. These teachers also supported staff long before entering their roles as TOSAs. Their expertise, organization, and ability to help people coordinate their programs has been an invaluable asset to our district. They work together with our special education teachers as a team, and they make teachers feel like valued and supported members of the special education department. Many of our special education teachers point directly to the support they have received from these TOSAs as what has made their challenging jobs feel doable. In fact, they cite the breadth of TOSA knowledge as being inspirational and challenging them to push their own professional development. Louise, Shelley, Sarah, and Danielle were unable to attend tonight, but they sent a statement along for me to read on their behalf. They wanted to say, "We are grateful to receive the NCEA Educator of the Month Award. This timely recognition acknowledges the dedication and passion we have for coaching and supporting educators throughout our district so that they can best support our students, families, and school communities. We extend our heartfelt appreciation to our NCEA colleagues for facilitating this award. We value NCEA's work as they have valued ours." So please join us in thanking our special education TOSAs for their excellent work on behalf of NCSD students and educators. Thanks.
Thank you, Melinda. Any comments from the school board members? I see Director Perez has his hand up.
That was my clapping.
Oh, I'm sorry. Couldn't tell the difference. I got to learn that. Okay. Did you want to say anything while you're unmuted?
Sure. Anytime, teachers, I remember when I was in school and I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for some of my teachers and that made an impact and where I'm at today. And I think about them every day and I thank them. So thank you. Louise, Shelley, Sarah, and Danielle, thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Director Perez. Any other comments? I'll just add to that. You have a very challenging job and I admire your hard work. Never do that. Oh, Director McVeigh.
I was clapping too, but I will tell
Oh.
you that in bargaining, your praises have been sung quite a bit. And so your peers are recognizing all of the amazing work that you guys do every day.
Thank you. Okay, that was another clap. Sorry about that. Anything else? Moving on, we have a school report that I think was scheduled earlier and we are now finally getting to it. I welcome the Billquist Elementary School presentation. I welcome Executive Director of Elementary School, Kalia Williams Rodriguez, for this agenda item, and she will introduce her guests. Thank you for being here.
Good evening. It's a wonderful Thursday where we get to introduce Dr. Karen Webster as the principal and Malik Salimi as the assistant principal. And I see Vicky Baraka as our instructional coach, who is very excited to share the highlights and joys of Billquist Elementary School. So welcome as you prepare to share your screen.
Hello, thank you so much for letting us have an opportunity to talk about Billquist. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling really well, so my voice isn't as good as it should be. But we're really glad to come and talk to you about Billquist Elementary School, home of the Broncos. The picture here is our covered area getting to the gym, and that was a bond project, so we want to thank our voters for that. I'm Karen Webster. We have Melissa Leamy here, Vicky Baraka, the instructional coach, Jen Olson, who is our PTA president and our 5th grade teacher, really loves to talk about Billquist and wishes she's here, but she is also not feeling well today. I'll just start with the demographics. We have about 400 students at Billquist. About 66% of them identify as white. Our next biggest demographic is Hispanic at about 15% and Black African American at 10%, followed closely by 2 or more races at 8%. In addition to a diverse demographic, we also have many different languages spoken at Billquist, including Amharic, Arabic, Cambodian, Cantonese, Filipino, German, Korean, Hmong, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Ukrainian, and Vietnamese. With the help of Tino, we were able to put together a video with some voices from Billquist, including some students and some staff. So I'm going to play that for you now. Hopefully it'll work.
My name is Ines and I like my teacher. My name's Lily and I love to learn. My name is Hazel and I like my teacher.
Hi, I'm Lynn Radcliffe, and I have volunteered at Billquist. This is my 18th year. The thing that I love about Billquist is that the staff and the students just open their arms and appreciate that I'm here to help and let me do the things that I like to do since I am a retired school teacher.
Hi, my name is Penny. One thing I love about Billquist is that we have a library. Hi, my name is Bronson, and what I love about Billquist is that we have a bunch of caring teachers. Hi, my name is Dylan, and what I love about Billquist is that there's a lot of nice and caring teachers. My name is Paisley, and my favorite thing about this school is there's great teachers and I have great friends. Hi, my name is Alex. My favorite part of Billquist is Hi, my name is Cruz Sams, and what I like about Billquist is that my lunch is better than my old school. Hi, my name is Dylan. One thing I like to do at Billquist is learn. Hi, my name is Sunshine, and one thing I like about Billquist is that there's so many nice teachers around. Hello, my name is Isaac, and I'm from Billquist Elementary School, and a few things I like about Billquist is the teachers are very nice. Hello, my name is Deanna and I'm from Billquist Elementary School. Some things I like about it is that I know it's a safe place to learn and there's lots of fun things to do. My name is Lindsay Morgan. I teach kindergarten at Billquist Elementary School. My favorite part about Billquist has been the most consistent thing, my teaching partner, Colleen Ostrom. It's been great working as a kindergarten team. We've had some changes over the past year too with another team member, and it's been great working together, working with kids, teaching them and watching them grow.
Hi, my name is Jalen Baskin. I am a gen ed IA at Billquist Elementary in Milwaukee, Oregon. What I like about Billquist Elementary is, as the students, a lot of the students are very friendly and they're warm and inviting. I like the presence around Billquist as well in regards to staff. The staff here are really friendly, they're respectful, and they're also very helpful. And I also love Billquist for another reason too, as it's an older school. And I feel like that it has a lot of nice cultural values too as well, as regards to other newer schools. And I'm really happy to be here for the last 4 years.
Hey, my name is Joe Hannon. I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Billquist Elementary. This is my 2nd year in district. and I am just so stoked to be a part of the North Clackamas family. I chose Bilquist because when you walk in the main doors, you see smiling faces from the front office to anyone else down the hallways. You see the smiling faces of students, smiling faces of parents, and it just gives you a good sense of community.
I really love working at Bilquist because it feels like a family here. We all take care of each other. The community is very family oriented, and we've all worked together for so long that when I leave home, it's like coming to my second home. So when I'm here, I don't feel like I'm at work. I feel like it's my second home, and everybody just kind of loves each other and helps each other out. This is her favorite treat, carrot tops, which fits her name because her name is Carrot.
Okay, at Bilquist, our social and emotional learning is focused on student autonomy, belonging, and competence, where students partake in school-based decisions and problem solving. Our biweekly assemblies are focused on developing a positive school culture and recognizing and acknowledging cultural events such as the Culture Day that we have coming up in May, where we will celebrate the diversity that exists within our community. Our fifth grade leadership students continue to share biweekly morning announcements. They participate in the assemblies and make classroom deliveries.
Vicki is going to talk about the academics and our multi-tiered system of support.
Hi, everyone. I'm really honored to be here tonight, and I'm so honored to be a part of the Bilquist staff. Fun fact about me is that I actually began my teaching career at Bilquist 24 years ago, and now I am back as a coach, serving teachers, serving staff, serving students, and I'm extremely honored to be doing that with them and with this community that is very much full of love and support, as the people have described already. Something else about Bilquist is that I'm going to read something that I prepared. Bilquist is a special staff who are dedicated and passionate about serving our students. Their commitment to students is clear, and they're never afraid to roll up their sleeves and do whatever it takes to provide outstanding instruction. If you were to walk into our school, you would see students engaged in their learning and who love being at school. You would see students sitting in a circle, sharing their writing, talking about books together, and listening to each other's ideas. You would see students who see themselves as authors, mathematicians, scientists, and artists. You can see some of this just by walking through the building, but something you might not see is that this year, many of our staff members have continued to grow their professional practice. As we know, the most important part of MTSS is core, and I believe that effective teachers never stop learning. And this and here at Bilquist are some examples of professional growth and development teachers here have worked on to improve core for their students. So in our kindergarten team, they have been really active members of the kindergarten inquiry cohort, which has been focused on intentional play workshop, as well as being involved in the optional professional development provided for writers workshop. And the district did hire Matt Glover for that. And our kindergarten team was very much a part of that. And it's been really fun to see the writing that's come out of that as well. For our entire K-1-2 team in literacy, they have been immersed in From Phonics to Reading curriculum, which has been new this year. And they have been just rock stars at teaching that as experts. You would never know that this was the first year that they are teaching this curriculum. And they have adjusted their practices that they've been doing for years to match the current research that supports the science of reading around instruction around phonics. For our 3-4-5 team, you will see Battle of the Books being a huge part of the lives of students as well as teachers. Students see themselves as readers and are holding books in their hands and being a part of book clubs and book talks, as well as at the beginning of the year, we did a lot of meeting as a team talking about writing and the changes that are coming our way. And so our 3-4-5 team is ready to go for the changes next year around writing. And I'm so excited to be able to support them in that work. For our tier 2 and 3, this year, the MTSS committee has worked on streamlining some of the processes around MTSS. And as a part of that, our MTSS meetings this year have morphed into being like much more teacher led, and data collection has become much more consistent. Our tier 2 instruction has also adjusted this year to match student needs and also the current research that has been recently revealed to us as educators. And our tier 3s have been carefully planned and documented using diagnostic teaching in close collaboration with the tier 3 team. So once again, I'm so honored to be here and be a part of the Bilquist community.
Thank you, Vicki. Another focus we had this year at Bilquist was equity, with our overall goal to identify and remove barriers in order to help each student meet their full potential and improve student achievement. This year's focus was to increase our knowledge of our students and their families and to increase the home culture representation at Bilquist. Some of the ways we did this were we started an equity committee. We're making sure that someone on the equity committee is on each of our hiring teams as we're able to hire new staff. And we increased resources on race and culture for teachers. We also encourage our staff to attend district training on equity topics and offered one meeting a month focusing on equity. And we worked on increasing the understanding of our school community by talking to parents and teachers about culture. We also took advantage of the ability to take the Youth Truth Survey and look at race-specific answers, especially with our students, and we're able to look at some differences between how our white students responded to some of the questions and our students of color, and are taking some actions on some of those results. We also incorporated learning about race and culture by hosting assemblies, which Melissa talked a little bit about already, and family events, including our upcoming cultural day, which is an opportunity for children and families to share elements of their culture with the whole school community. And that's part of our community engagement. This is the part that Jen was going to talk about with great enthusiasm, and Melissa is stepping in to do that herself.
Thank you, Dr. Webster. Our PTA, along with our wonderful PTA president, Jen Olson, make our field trips possible by fundraising and focusing on supporting the school with music and literacy enrichments. PTA also hosts community events such as Walk and Roll to School Day and Hippie Family Shake Dance. 4th and 5th grade students have an opportunity to participate in For All, a STEM Connect program. And we continue to see the Putnam High School mentors and volunteers support Bilquist students and staff.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
In addition to these things, we're looking forward to building more cross-grade activities to improve our whole school caring community. More participation at family events, including our upcoming STEM night. We're going to be improving our recess facilities, including getting a goggle pit and some new, more inclusive playground structures and playground equipment. And we're looking forward to continue evidence of growth in academics through progress monitoring, STAR testing, and state tests. Thank you so much for your continued support of Bilquist, and we'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them for us this evening.
Thank you for the great presentation, and I'm sorry, Dr. Webster, that you're not feeling well, but thank you for making the effort to be here. We appreciate it. So board members, any And I'll look for hands raised. Any questions, comments? Director McVeigh.
I just want to say, I just love the presentation. I love what comes out of kids' mouth. And I love the fact that you can take the teacher out of elementary school, but you can't take the elementary out of the teacher when he did 3 and wait, where's my camera? When he said the word 2 and he raised 2 fingers, and he said the word 3 and raised 3 fingers. I just love it.
Vice Chair Benaloga.
Yes, thank you. Again, a great presentation. I always love hearing what the kids enjoy about school. And I have to admit, I helped at the Bilquist Spaghetti dinner this year, and it was just wonderful to see and feel the real sense of community with your staff and with your kids as we were setting up the tables and the teachers were practicing for a very, very funny skit that they were going to be doing that night. Lots of good sports. So I love to hear that. I did have just wanted to see if you could just elaborate, because of course there's been lots of talk about phonics, and of course the governor really focusing on early literacy. Can you talk a little bit about the from phonics to reading, the curriculum, and then what kind of adjustments, and because you mentioned that they adjusted their practices to match the current research. So can you talk a little bit about what kind of adjustments that the teachers have made in class?
Definitely. Yeah, I got that. So some of the adjustments have been made are specifically around the systematic rollout of the phonics, as far as like what research is showing us. And I think that in some ways that's not super new to us as K-1-2 educators. We've known that systematic phonics rollout is something that's really important. Not all curriculums have had that in the past. However, many of the curriculums that our teachers who've been teaching for more than a few years have used curriculum that has been that way. What I think that is the most, for me anyway, was the most kind of like aha moment was realizing the importance of the decodables that are paired with the systematic phonics instruction and using them in a timely manner to match the skills that are being taught. And so that is, I think, what we're kind of hearing the murmurs and social media and that is that it is so important for our emergent readers to be practicing the skills that they're learning in context, in reading passages, like very quickly after they're learning that. And so I feel like that is like maybe some of the biggest shifts that have taken place over the last few years. And when I did say that we are also trying to adjust that in our tier 2s, that's an interesting issue too, because I feel like there's not a lot of tier 2s right now that are really supporting the research yet. And so we're doing our best right now. And I think that the reteaching of core, which has always been a super important part of the tier 2 option, is something that we are doing at Bilquist right now.
All right, thank you so much. You know, it's so important that we really work on those emergent readers, and we do focus on literacy and finding ways for kids not only to be able to read, but to really enjoy it. So thank you so much for your dedication. I appreciate the presentation.
Director Perez.
Yeah, thank you for the excellent presentation, Principal Karen and Alicia and Vicky. Just want to say when we were watching the video and all the kids were talking, I think I counted, I don't know, 5 or 6 kids that said caring, atmosphere and nice. And I think I heard love and support in there a couple times too. And that's anytime you hear that from kids, that's important, because before they can learn academically, they have to feel like they're safe and cared for. And so that's pretty special that you have that there. Good job. Keep up the good work with that. That's the one thing that I remember from my experience in school. I enjoyed going to school, even though I was a geek and I read a lot of books, but it was always safe. And the teachers were, no matter what was going on, the teachers made us all feel very cared for. And that allowed me to thrive. So good job there. And then I just want to say, I always, in some of the photos, I think it was the PTA photos, I saw Mr. Long. And it always seems like it's like not where's Waldo, it's not where's Wally, it's where's Mr. Long, because I see him in a lot of pictures now pop up in different presentations. I just want to throw that in there. Thank you.
I don't see any other hands. Yeah, I want to thank you for a great presentation. I just wanted maybe follow up on one comment. And I like that you tied the multi-tiered system of support with academic improvement goals. And I think there's in our community, again, been some misunderstanding maybe about that, but how they work together. And I think you did a good job of explaining that. I wanted to follow up on it was the high five strategies. I saw that somewhere. I think it was on that slide. What is that? Implementing the high five?
The district is there's 5 documented strategies that help improve instruction, and this year they just took one of those, which was collaboration, and it's collaboration that was rolled out this year, and not only collaboration amongst teachers, but how to build that collaboration with students, and part of that is also helping teachers learn ways to get more voices into discussions. So this year, part of the high five really was collaboration and increasing student voice in the classroom.
Thank you. Great presentation. Thank you for all the work that you did to prepare for this and being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Next is board reports. Board members report on their activity within the school district each month. This time is set aside for each board member to share a report. We will start with, just going to go in alphabetical order. Director McVeigh.
Well, thank you. Busy time for all of us. A quick report, just enjoying time with negotiations, and I've had to miss a few, and thanks to Chair Bauer. She keeps me updated with documents, so thank you, Chair Bauer. And then our monthly benefits meeting is always a great way to see from all groups how to maintain healthcare costs while providing, premium services for the group. So thanks, Matt and his team, for all the hard work on that.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. Director Perez.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, let's see, we had policy review committee last week or a couple weeks ago. Honored to be on that team. That's an awesome team. And worked hard on some revisions, which will be coming up here shortly, I believe. They're going to be presented here in a little bit. And then the other thing, there's a literacy night coming up, which I'm looking forward to. That's next week, and I'll be looking forward to share more on that at the next board report. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Perez. Director Schradel. Is Director Schradel still online, or did we lose him?
Yes, Director Bauer, he had to drop off at this time.
Okay, let's go on then. Maybe he'll join us back. Vice Chair Binaloga.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bauer. Yes, been involved with Matt and his team with the budget committee, which is a big job. So we appreciate all the work of our financial department around the budget. I attended the RAU collaborative meeting. Again, just a great meeting of amazing people that really wrap their arms around that RAU community. And it's just so uplifting and such a great meeting to be in with Harry Applebaum, who heads the meeting, the social worker there. He's just fantastic. And they really have they have a lot of programs and a lot of community partners that are really walking hand in hand with RAU. So wonderful to see. I also serve on benefit. And it's just so interesting. And it's a good group of people. And again, this is something that Matt is also involved with, again, Matt Macara, that really making sure that they're thoughtful, really asking good questions, and then weaving the benefit committee in with our wellness committee as well. And I appreciate that. And then I'm on policy as well. And we have some policies, I believe, that are coming up this evening. So thank you so much.
You're on mute, Mitzi.
Thank you. I don't see Director Schradel, so I'll go ahead. Director Benaloga and I serve on the Youth Equity Committee. They are working hard to prepare a report to bring to the board, and I think you will learn a lot from the amount of work they put into the report and what they're focused on. They're an amazing group. Budget Committee, I would encourage our community to be aware that these are open meetings to the public. We are on our last one coming up. There was one May 2nd, and I think it's next week. I didn't put down when it was, but it will be just probably a short meeting where we adopt. There might be a question or two, but there were 3 informational meetings that were great information for everyone to learn more about the budget, because there does seem to be some misunderstanding about that we align with our strategic plans, guided by our policies. There's 7 community members that joined the board members, and there's just some great questions and that are answered, and a lot of material there again that staff puts together. And thank you so much for all that hard work. I attended the North Clackamas Education Foundation Gala, and many of the other board members did, and they gave generously. Our community supported our staff and students, and it was also a fun night, so that was great. Math curriculum review was May 1st, and it was pretty well attended, and that is another way that our community can find out about curriculum. So I encourage you to look on our website and check those out. There were a lot of questions, and some community members were really digging in, and I really admire that. Rao Middle School, there was Rao Family Night this week, and I believe Director Perez also attended that. It was great to see all the families there, and then a lot of their partners were there sharing more information with parents, and a lot of our staff was there. Coming up, I will mention there's a Spanish curriculum review May 15th at the Milwaukee High School, and also the literacy night at Happy Valley Elementary. Looks really interesting, and I think that's something they will learn and share with other schools. So finding out more about literacy is really important too. So lots of opportunities for our community to find out more about what's going on in our district. That's all I had. Thank you all. Next, policy revisions. I welcome Chief of Staff Tiffany Sharman for this agenda item. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Chair Bauer and directors. This evening, I am here with a first reading of policies. I am not seeking your action tonight on these. These policies are coming forward with the support of the Superintendent's Policy Review Team, which has representation of both staff and board. I do want to take just a second here and call out our 2 board members, both Director Perez and Vice Chair Benaloga, for your just continued commitment to the team. Policy can be up a hill and down a hill and all around hills when we're discussing them, and I'm so thankful for both of their commitment. We have tonight really the culmination and the final pieces of policy related to the ad hoc committee work that this board established last year. And while the ad hoc committee itself ended its work a couple of months ago with the adoption of policies and some new complaint procedures, at that time, we knew that we still had our sexual harassment complaint policy procedure and the policy itself really still needing to become aligned with the rest of the work that we did as an ad hoc committee. So tonight's policies represent exactly that. We dug in here and looked at the sexual harassment policies and ARs, how they align to current state law in particular. We made sure that the proposed policies and ARs align to those recently adopted complaint procedures to make sure that they were as aligned as possible. And then we also worked through here through a lens of being clear about what sexual harassment is, making sure that there are clear definitions, any retaliation is addressed, and so on. So with that, I do have tonight then these policies for your consideration, and I'm available if you have any questions.
Any questions, board? Since Director Benaloga and Director Prez worked hard on this already, it's just up to Director McVeigh and I. Director McVeigh, do you have any questions?
Nope.
Me
Thank you
either.
for the work.
Of course.
Thank you for the work. It's an amazing amount of time, twice a month, a couple hours, and going through every sentence. So thank you for all your work, and thank you, Tiffany, for your report. We appreciate it.
Thank you. As I close these, we'll come back then for action at a subsequent meeting. And I do want to make sure that you know and that others know that Executive Director Riddell here is our Title IX coordinator and is quite skilled and very strong in this particular area. So we're really fortunate moving forward with our sexual harassment policies. We're in good hands. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I was going to ask when it was coming back, so thank you for bringing that up. So that will be action or in our consent agenda, another meeting. Thank you so much. You're always ahead of us. Contract award, CrowdStrike Falcon subscription. Next on the agenda is contract award for the CrowdStrike. I welcome Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Cindy Dutchin, and she will introduce a guest.
Thank you. Yes, this evening we are seeking your approval for a contract award. We're moving to a new subscription service, a new vendor for something that helps us with our cybersecurity infrastructure. And here to answer your questions and give you just a little bit more information about that is our Director of Technology and Information Services, Leanne Shearer. Dr. Shearer, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I will give you a little bit of information about why we're making the switch and why we're bringing this to the board. We have, for the last 3 years, we've had a service called Cortex, and basically this is what's called our endpoint protection. And so it's similar to along the lines of the antivirus software that you would have on your computer. And so it's what protects the actual devices, all of the devices we have in the district. So we've had a particular service called Cortex, and it's worked well. As you've probably heard over the last few years, there have been increased need for different layers and types of security and improved methods of securing our system and our devices. And as we started looking at the renewal for this contract, in order to get an increased level of the type of protection, going from a service that would look at what's coming onto the computer and basically from a recognized list of bad things that you don't want to have on your computer or bad sources, and blocking that. Instead, this would look at patterns of behavior as you know, folks are going to websites and sending emails and receiving emails. So it's sort of a smarter way to protect the computer. That, of course, would be more expensive. And so when we started looking, it would be a very significant increase in price to stay with our current vendor, something along the lines of 400 to 500% higher for this type of security. And it's important to know that at this moment in time, it's not required, that the increased level or the increased type of security isn't required, but we are finding some of our neighboring districts from their insurance carriers are requiring this improved type of security. And so we started looking around and found CrowdStrike, and they've been very cooperative. They have very sound business practices, very supportive of education particularly, and are offering very competitive pricing. Our ESD uses CrowdStrike, and they have a engineer, their security engineer, who is very familiar with the product. They've been using it for about a year. And in addition to North Clackamas moving to this product, we would get improved service. We also then would be able to work with the security engineer when things come up, because he'd be familiar with what the types of alerts are and what they might mean and how we would respond to those alerts. And so this is coming to the board because through the process of talking about what we were looking for and the pricing they were able to offer to us, if we are into a 3-year contract, we're able to save about $40,000, and the contract puts us over the $150,000 level. So we wanted to bring this to the board for your approval and to just give you an opportunity to ask questions and to understand better what we're looking at and how we're spending the money.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions from our board members? Hearing
I have one
none.
question.
Okay, Director Perez.
Board Chair, thank you. Yeah, just one question on how frequently or what, as far as the availability of the security engineer, what would that look like?
Well, he's full-time at the ESD, and it's his full-time job. And we're by far the largest district in the county, in Clackamas ESD. And so we don't have a set, we access him this amount of time, but he's readily available. And in fact, I had a discussion with him today, and I know he's in contact with our staff, very responsive anytime we have any questions or anything comes up.
And he's located at the CESD office, did you say? Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I will open the floor for a motion.
I move board approval of the superintendent's recommendation to award the contract in the amount of $161,900.23 to Organization for Educational Technology and Curriculum for a CrowdStrike Falcon 3-year subscription.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Benaloga, second by Director Perez. Any other discussion? I'll call for a vote on the motion.
Director Bauer, I'm sorry to interrupt. I believe Director McVeigh lost internet connection. He is trying to get back with us. So I may suggest that we move to the next item, and perhaps he will be able to get back with us for
Okay, thank you. I was trying to see him. Yeah, I wondered. I just thought I'd call him and see. Okay, thank you, Superintendent. So let's move on to the next agenda item, which is contract award printer contract. I will welcome Director of Finance and Business Services, Matt McCara, for his agenda item, and he will introduce any guests. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you, Chair Bauer. Directors, good evening, everyone. Tonight, I bring forward an item for discussion and approval of a new contract to replace outdated printers throughout the district. With more information on this, I'm very pleased to introduce our Director of Business Operations, Gwen Chapman.
Good evening, directors. I am here tonight to seek your approval of a routine contract for district-wide printers in the amount of $267,000 over 5 years. So after a thorough analysis of the district-wide printer needs, we are recommending award of this contract to Pacific Office Automation. That is our current vendor. This is a renewal. It's a new contract, but it's a continuation of service and a replacement of the current printers. The district has found that 5-year replacement cycle to be the best fit for our needs in balancing costs and equipment life cycle, which we are definitely at the end of right now. The cost includes estimated usage as well as the fixed monthly cost over 60 months. I think it's important to note that these costs include the equipment as well as all servicing, repairs, and toner over the life of the agreement. We've been very deliberate in reducing the number of printers we're starting with this cycle based upon the current usage. We may find the need to add back a few of the 82 printers we're not replacing at this time over the life of the agreement, but the proposed contract is our recommendation as the most prudent at this time. So thank you for your consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the report. Any questions for Matt or Gwen? Any discussion?
I'll
Is
just
there
say
a
that's
motion?
I'll
go
just say it's a very good price for these printers, so.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. Is there a motion to approve and award?
I'll make a motion, Chair. Motion to award contract in the amount of $267,000 to Pacific Office Automation to replace outdated and no longer supported printer equipment at all locations throughout the district.
Thank you, Director Perez. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. Any other discussion? Call for a vote. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Perez.
Aye.
I don't see Director Schradel.
Oh.
Vice Chair Benaloga.
Aye.
Myself, aye. The motion passes with a vote of 4-0. Now let's go back to the previous agenda item, the recommendation for the contract with CrowdStrike Falcon subscription. We had, I'm not sure, Director McVeigh, if you were here, we had a motion by Vice Chair Benaloga and a second by Director Perez. Was there any discussion or did you have any questions, Director McVeigh?
No, I heard most of it, and we all want to keep our data safe, so.
Great, thank you. I'll call for a vote on the motion then. Director McVeigh,
Aye.
Director Perez,
Aye.
Director or Vice Chair Benaloga,
Aye.
and myself is aye. The motion passes with a vote of 4-0. So now we go to the last item. Is that correct? Am I on the agenda here? Keep me straight. Next is a construction bid award, Scouters Mountain Elementary School Modular Classroom Installation Project. I welcome Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Cindy Dutchin, back to discuss.
Thank you. At a previous board meeting, you approved the purchase of these modular classrooms. Those have been purchased and ordered and are ready to be delivered as soon as students are out of school. We then went out and sought bids for the installation process of these 2 modular classrooms units, which actually produces 4 classrooms in total. We are asking your approval to award this project to P&C Construction Company. This is a company well known to us. They did several of our larger projects in the last bond, several of our larger remodels. So we're happy that they're taking on this much smaller project. They didn't have to, they don't need the business, but we're very happy that they're taking this on because they know us, but they provide good, excellent work, and they got us a great bid.
Great, thank you. Any discussion or questions?
Motion to approve award, to approve superintendent's recommendation to award the Scouters Mountain Elementary School Modular Classroom Installation Project to PNC Construction for a total award not to exceed $548,647.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. Second, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Vice Chair Benaloga. Any other discussion? Yeah, I was glad to see that they bid on it and the price was quite a bit lower too. So looks like we got a good deal. Thank you so much, Cindy and your staff for getting that done. I'll call for a vote on the motion. Director McVeigh.
Aye.
Director Perez.
Aye.
I don't see Director Schradel. Vice Chair Benaloga.
Aye.
And myself is aye. The motion passes with a vote of 4-0. Thank you all for joining us online to learn about the work of our district. We appreciate the reports, our staff, and grateful for the community that supports our public schools. Just as a reminder, there's many ways for students and staff to be heard and involved for students. Youth equity, affinity groups, school leadership, community conversations, that was new this year, but quite successful, open to everyone in the community. Needs assessments, legislative agendas, school events, PTA, PTO, back to school conferences, surveys, board meetings, emails, and phone calls. Work with your student's teacher and your principal. They're all communities, and we're so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Thank you. Night.
Oh, adjourned at, sorry, 7:31. I was hoping I'd get through before 7.